morning and welcome to Art Adventures with Joneen. I'm here today over by the Palais de Congrès and here in Grasse in the southeast of France, and I am in the sun today. So working in the sun certainly affects your work. Hot, you're sweating, perspiring, and but I wanted to talk today about choosing your darks. So my subject today is the church bell tower. That's my focus. And the sun is hitting it, and so I have shadows. And the building itself, the structure itself, is kind of a beigey, rosy, gray color. But the shadows I could easily make into a brown. But today, I want to just show you that I'm not using brown, I'm using blue. And I'm not even taking my own advice. I'm using a bigger brush today. And I'm going in with a very dark blue. Once again, it can't, especially with a bigger brush is probably too big for the subject matter. It really is important that I have a pretty dry brush that's well saturated. Otherwise it'll bleed all over the page. So I'm just going to take a minute, because this is preparation often is sometimes more important than execution. Just making sure that you've got all your ducks in a row. I'm using my Rowney right now. And I've got, I've got bells in the bell tower, so I need to go in there. Oops, children are being children in the background there, making all kinds of noises. Doesn't have to be perfect. No, it's not a photograph. Oh my goodness, somebody is being 2 years old right about now. I can hear him in the background. Oh my goodness. I'm going to pull this off a little bit here. I don't like that there. And I grab it. Okay. And I've got a shadow. Well, I've got one side of the building, one side of the clock tower, bell tower is in shadow, so I need to make it a little darker. I'm actually going to mix my blue with my brown, and I get kind of a I get a darker color, which is really what I need to do. I need to differentiate between where the light is shining and where the light isn't shining. And you'll see what I'm going to do in just a moment, because that's a little too heavy. And the beauty of these colors is that they're, oh my goodness. Life is hard. Life is hard. There we go. Off you go, my darling. Okay, then while it's still wet, I go in, and if I still think it's a little dark, so I go in and I pull off some of the color a little bit. I pull it back, as they say. Okay. Let it begin. And pull it back. This side has to be definitely darker than the other side. It's a three-dimensional object. And, you know, you're creating an optical illusion. And are the colors exact? No, they're not. Sometimes I'll spend a lot of time on the colors. Other times especially when I'm standing in the sun like this, I'm just kind of like, well, you know, get as close as you can. It's good to have expectations. As a teacher, I always had very high expectations for my students. I think it's important to have expectations. However, with art, especially when you're out here kind of just trying your best, I find yes, I have expectations, but I keep them low. In fact, I sometimes have no expectations. It's kind of like, surprise me, see what happens. Because the brush, I kind of just have to trust the brush. See, now that color is too dark. I don't like that. And color is important, obviously. I wouldn't be using watercolors if they weren't important. So I'm going to lighten that up. This line here, it's the basilica. And I just do that. Now, when you're working outside, there are going to be a lot of distractions. Screaming children, traffic noise. It's par for the course. And it's important you stay focused and not get too embroiled in what's going on around you. But be aware. You don't want to be unaware. But you also need to be focused on what you're doing. There's a little bit of both. Alright. So I'm going to continue with this. I'd like to show you more, but I don't have a lot of memory on my phone. And I got the windows of the basilica in there. Okay. So you start to see that, and I will be going back in with my blue. You start to begin to see, I'll post this on Instagram under my name, Nielsen Joneen. And yeah, I'll probably put it on LinkedIn, Joneen Nielsen. And that's it for me for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Have a wonderful day.